Never met this guy up until right now on Zoom. Kane Brown. Nice to meet you. Where are you? How you doing? All that stuff.
Nice to meet you, man. And I'm at my house in Nashville. Um, Currently, I had to find somewhere where my internet was good enough to Zoom because I live in the woods. So I'm in my bed, comfortable, just hanging out.
Living that good life. What's it like living, in the woods, as you say? Is it relaxing, or do you get, stir crazy from time to time?
Man, it's awesome. We got a pool, and then we have a lot of acres. So I ride four wheelers and I ride my Can-Am around. You can blare music as loud as you want. I ain't got no neighbors. Only thing is though, if you come here, the mosquitoes are insane. We have rattlesnakes
Oof.
and a lot of tree frogs.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
I got so many questions about all that, you guys. Kane Brown, how's quarantine treated you? You were just talking about being, living in the woods, all the beauty about, living in the woods. Some of the downside, rattlesnakes. I mean, God, I used to live in Texas. Mosquitoes would carry you away if you're not careful. But I would
Yes.
imagine living in the woods, like you say, quarantine's got to. I would imagine life can be kind of normal. You don't have to wear a mask, if you're isolated from people. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely normal around here. But quarantine, the first 3 months it was cool. We're working on our house. We've done a lot. So it's cool to see that come along. I have an 8-month-old baby that I've got to see her personality grow through the days. And
Nice.
she's got two bottom teeth growing through. And it's just been amazing to see everything that she's been accomplishing. She waves now, but she waves backwards. She does like this.
Nice.
So I mean, all that's been cool, but I'm ready to get back on the road and get in front of fans and just perform.
I bet you. I bet she has you wrapped around your finger, right? Or
Oh
wrapped
yeah,
around
man.
her finger, I should say.
She's got the biggest cheeks. Like she looks like a Gerber baby. So if she smiles at you, it's just like you can't help but smile back at her.
Well, congrats to you and your wife, man. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Fans will ask me, what else are you working on? Because I'm assuming, being, quarantine, lockdown, all that fun stuff, plenty of time to write, plenty of time to record. I'm not sure if you have a studio in the house or how that goes, but what else are you working on?
We got an EP coming soon. It's done. I wanted to put it out in June. It keeps getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. Uh, so now I'm hearing August. I'm trying to get it a little earlier. But it's cool. We got some different collaborations. I got like my songs that are my actual sound where I got started on, and then I have like a '90s sound country song. But then I've got songs with I got a remix with Nelly coming out on Cool Again.
Oh,
I've got
wow.
a song with her coming out that I love. Um, and then of course Be Like That'll be on there. So I'll be all over the spectrum with the EP and the album.
So look out for this EP, August, if not sooner, if Kane has his way. As I ask this question, I'm not saying that your fans are psycho. They are lovely, beautiful, wonderful people. But I absolutely love psycho fan encounters. Do you have one for me?
Um, Let me think.
I've heard of things. I've heard of people
Yes,
hiding in
yes.
trash cans. Oh, go ahead.
So this one is actually like might we might have to get a restraining order on this woman. Yeah. And the
Wow.
only reason I'm telling this story because like usually I'm close to my fans, especially the super fans. Like I know them. I don't want any interaction with this woman ever again. So, super sad, kind of. Um, I mean, very sad. My drummer had passed away, uh, and we were at his funeral.
Oh, my God. Sorry to hear that, first of all.
Thank you. So yeah, we were at his funeral, and I'm sitting there. We're about to get in. We're about to get in the car to actually go and bury him. And before, I get a tap on my shoulder, and I remember seeing this girl. I don't remember while I'm there, but this girl taps me on the shoulder and she says, "I'm so sorry." Blah blah blah. Um, I'm thinking like I was being nice because I was thinking it was like in Kenny's family or something. And afterwards, I find out she's a fan. She spent $10,000 to come to see me. She drove all the way to Georgia to the funeral that she knew I was going to be at so she could talk to me. And then after all that, my security guard got her away from me when I told him, I was like, yo, you got to get this lady right. But after that, on her Facebook, she posted all these pictures where she was just taking them of me, like in the car and over here and over there, and like taking all these pictures of me
At the
and
funeral.
posted them. Yeah. Like, well, it was, I was like, how'd she even get that angle? Like, she got it while I was getting in the car. Well, the other door was open. She had her, I don't know. It was insane. And then, yeah,
That
there's
is
a lot more other stuff. Like, she hates my wife and all that stuff. But I ain't going to get into that.
that's next level creepy, man. I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
Well, I'm glad you got security and authorities are working on that one for sure. Good Lord. All right, Kane
Yeah.
Brown, true or false? You almost joined the Army, according to the story, but you decided against it because they wanted you to remove your tattoos or some of the tats before you went in, which would be insanely painful. Is
Yeah.
that a true story?
That is true, man. Me and my best friend David went, and we were actually. It's funny you asked me that because we were talking about it last night because we watched that new movie. Is it called not Outbreak? Outpost. Have
Oh,
you
right.
seen it? Yeah,
Orlando Bloom, I believe.
yeah.
Am
There's
I thinking
a
of?
couple actors in there. It just came out recently, but anyway, we went and we took the test, and I passed. It would have been bad because I would have been on the front of the line.
Yikes.
But my boy that was supposed to go in with me ended up making a 4, and was like the teacher kept telling like I was taking the test and the teacher kept telling somebody like sir, you need to wake up, and I turned around and it was him every time. But yeah, luckily I was going in, and I was 18 and they told me I had to remove my tattoos, and I was just like, I'm not doing that. But then I wouldn't be in music, so it was God looking out for me.
That's true. Now, did they want you to take I know you have one on your hand. Is that the one they wanted you to take off, or did they want all of them off?
Nah, I didn't have that one yet. No, I have a Chinese symbol right here, means love. I got it on my mom on Mother's Day. Only her hair covers hers.
Right.
They told me I would have to get it removed, and I was like,
You can't
it's
take off
still
the
gonna like
mom tat.
yeah, it's still gonna be a scar too. Like, it's gonna be there. And I heard it hurts like 10,000 times more to get it removed, and I don't do well with. I have a lot of them, but I don't do well with getting them.
Yeah, I've got quite a few as well, and my tattoo artist is getting a few removed on his knuckles. He says, and he's used to the pain of tats, obviously. He says it's the worst, man, just the
Yeah.
worst.
Well, knuckles hurt already. Like,
Right.
those are some of my most painful ones. So I couldn't imagine getting them removed.
Yeah, it ain't pretty. Kane, at some point, you're going to get back on the road, tour, all that stuff. I know you love life on the road. How much do you miss it? How anxious are you to get back on tour?
I would go right now, as we speak, to Onstage, man. I'm dying. The first couple months of this, it was like, this is gonna be awesome. We just had our pool installed. I was like, I'm gonna hang out by the pool and I'm gonna be fine. And now it's to the point where I don't know what I can do differently, because you can't, like you could go somewhere, like, you know what I mean, like you could put a mask on, go out, but you can't enjoy yourself. You know what I mean, like
Right.
especially my wife has bad anxiety, so she constantly, like, she steps outside, she's like, I have corona. So it's bad. So I don't know, man. I'm ready to get back. I'm ready life to be perfect again, and just be able to do whatever we want.
Have you had talks, even, early stage conversations about, tour plans, stuff like that, or nothing?
Well, me and my manager are like both the same person. Like, we keep our hopes alive, and we thought we were gonna go back at the August, September, whenever this year, and then and then we were told March, and we're like, okay, March, and then now we're told maybe like end of May or
God.
June. So yeah, it just keeps getting pushed back. But there's a lot of people doing the theaters now, the drive-in theaters.
What do you think about that? Is that something you'd like, or is it just
I
too
don't
odd?
I don't I don't want that to be my first show back. I did the one where you so you can drive in, but it's actually me on a screen but I don't know if I would want my show back being everybody in a car. Like I want everybody up, on packed on top of each other and singing and you know what I mean.
That'd be kind of weird because normally you hear the crowd scream, which I guess you would still hear, but I'm guessing when people get excited, you hear the horns honking because that's what I would do. I think, oh my God, that's great. That would be just an
Yeah,
odd fan crowd reaction.
yeah, I feed off energy and people singing the songs back and all that. I don't know if I could go off a horn honking at 'em.
Right. Kane, have you ever made a noticeable on stage mistake? We've all made mistakes, but one where the crowd they knew something was up.
Oh, all the time. I'll get distracted. So that's one of my things I'm still trying to fix is letting taking control of my brain. Um, I'll be on stage and I'll be singing and all of a sudden I think of something and completely forget what I'm like the lyrics of the song. And I've got better on playing it off, and my people that work with me have got better at trying to sing the song with me to get me back on track. But when I first started out, man, I let the crowd know I messed up. I was like, man, I forgot the lyrics, and my band's like, what are you doing? And so it was, yeah, I've got better on playing it off though.
Like what you're singing a song and something hits you in your brain that has nothing to do with this. Like, what do you think about up there?
Nothing to do. It's like I don't know. I become ADD, and then I'm like, do I look okay up here? Like I don't know. Do I have I don't know, just weird things. Am I singing the song right? Or sometimes there was one time while I was singing the song, I had messed the song up before, and so right before the song started, I said, I'm gonna mess the song up. And I came in the start of the song with the second verse.
Oh my God.
So then, but what was funny is the crowd was singing it with me. And then I just sang the second verse again when the second verse was supposed to happen. And then it just didn't sound right at all. And I don't know, it was bad.
Dude, that's
I don't know.
hilarious. I had a friend, Ryan Tedder, the artist, singer, writer, Ryan Tedder,
That name sounds familiar.
the group
I
One
don't know if I ever
Republic.
met him. Yeah,
he,
yeah.
yeah, he told me, and this is, I guess, he sang their song "Apologize" so many times. He has a song called "Apologize." He sang that
Yeah.
song so many times that he sort of, as he's performing it, at times, I'm not sure if this is true, but this is what he told me. He says he's written another song on stage as he's performing that one. It's such a muscle memory thing for him to do that. He just kind of like you. His mind just went some other place as he's going through the motions of singing that one. So maybe, yeah, clearly you're not alone with that.
Yeah.
All right. This is crazy. Kane Brown's hanging out, you guys. Be Like That with Khalid and Swae Lee. Let's play this track. What do people need to know about this track, about the collab? What do you want to tell them?
Man, I feel like everybody can relate to this song in some way. Um, if it's with an ex, if it's with who you're with currently during this quarantine and y'all are together 24/7 and y'all just want to kill each other, but deep down, you love each other. It's just a fun track that, I love. I know Khalid loves it and Swae loves it. And we're just glad to be on this track together and see what it does. So I hope they enjoy it as well.
Did you know these guys before this track, or did you meet them creating this track?
I knew Khalid because we did Saturday Nights, the remix.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I told him, I was like, man, we got to get a song that's not already been out, just a brand new one. So I'm glad we made it happen. But and Swae Lee is a funny story. Nobody knows this, but I met Swae back when he was with, I don't even know how you say it. Is it Ray Shrummer?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So we were in LA, and it was before I was, really anybody. And I was in the elevator, and I was coming down with him, and I was like, bro, I'm a big fan. And he was like, cool. and I was like, dang, dude. But anyway, he's on the song with me now, and he messaged me on Instagram the other day. So I guess we cool now.
That's cool, man. Cool. Nice to meet you. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Kane Brown, Be Like That, featuring Khalid and Swae Lee. Kane, two-part question. Biggest crowd you've ever performed for? And the complete flip of that, have you ever been booed?
I haven't heard me. I'm gonna answer the second part first. I haven't heard being booed. I mean, I probably have been, but I haven't heard it. I know that when I was, I take that back. When I was with Jason Aldean, one of my good buddies, I was on the stage, and this dude held up a sign that said, it was like, uh, "Sing real country music" or something like that. And I took offense to that. I was like, okay. Um, but biggest crowd would have had to been, I think it was the Houston rodeo.
Oh, wow.
Um, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was, I think it was 84,000 or above that, which was insane. Like, you know, everybody could have whispered a word and you would hear it. So it was super loud when everybody was singing back. So it was cool.
Is it a rush to have that many people in the palm of your hand? It's got to be just, indescribable,
It
whatever the word
it
is.
was it was insane. I felt like a WWE wrestler coming out, first of all, because they they brought me out in the back of this pickup truck, and so the stage folds down like a star. So the stars up like this, and then they all fold, and fireworks were shooting off from the stage, and I was like, I was like, this is all for me. Like,
That's crazy, man.
yeah, it was awesome. And what's even more ironic is my last show was supposed to be the Houston Rodeo again, and Corona canceled it, and supposedly that's gonna be the next startup of when we start touring. My first show will be the Houston Rodeo.
Man, if you get back, if that's your first show back with fireworks shooting off, WWE status,
I'm gonna
that's
be
the
hype as heck.
that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Kane Brown's hanging out, you guys. Two true or false questions about you and your wife. True or false? You met your wife at Top Golf in Florida, and she had no idea at the time that you were, a pretty famous musician.
Kind of true. I met her at a bar in Tampa, and then we went to Top Golf. But yeah, I was supposed to be in her music video a year before I'd met her, and then we didn't say one word at Top Golf, and I slid into her DMs and brought her to Nashville, and then I didn't even know because I didn't look at my schedule at the time, and I'd only done 4 shows. They were all in bars, like 1,000 people. And so the next show that she came to was when I was out on tour with Florida Georgia Line, and it was an amphitheater of 17,000 people. So when she showed up, she was like, and she was an artist as well, so you got to look at that. And she was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Don't look at it like I'm opening. I'm the first guy of 4, so don't look at me like I'm anybody." So yeah, it was just funny.
One more true or false question. You proposed to your wife while you guys were watching Amityville Horror.
That's true. I thought it was romantic. That was my mom's favorite horror movie, so had that connection, you know?
So, like, in the middle of, like, what scene? Like, somebody's getting stabbed in the face, and you're like, "Well, I got something to ask you."
Nah, it was more romantic than that. I just got done with the show, and I had sent her home for 2 weeks, so she had thought that I was breaking up with her. I actually got home from tour, and I had a love note on my bed that said, "I love you." I don't know what I did, and I felt so bad. But I had to find a ring. I had to get a ring, and she was always with me. I could never find time to go get one. So after the show, I pulled my tour bus up to her house in Philly. She had no idea I was coming. It was like midnight. I walk in her room, and I was supposed to do it that next morning. So I surprised her. She started crying when she saw me. And then it was just like, it felt like such a right moment. Amityville Horror happened to be playing. So I low-key felt like my mom was in the room with me.
Oh, wow.
And no, I'm joking. And then I proposed. Yeah.
Dude, that's nice. I'm a big horror fan, so points for me if that matters, Kane. Anyway, Kane Brown's hanging out, you guys. You don't know this about me. We just met, but I'm obsessed with the paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, all that stuff. I've got a podcast called Paranormalish. I'm off the deep end, clearly. You have had a paranormal encounter. I need to know details.
I've had a couple, but I'm gonna tell you. Oh, which one will I tell you? I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want to hear the computer one, or do you want to hear the battlefield?
The computer one or the which one's which one's the scariest, the freakiest, or are they both about the same?
They're about the same.
Let's do the battle one. whatever that is.
Okay. So the battlefields were it's a place where they fought in the Civil War down in Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia.
All
There's
right.
a lot of things there. If you look it up on the internet, there's a soldier called Green Eyes, which I've seen him. There's a pregnant lady that walks across the street that's like this ghost figure or whatever. But there's this tower that's super famous there, and it's probably about 14, 13 stories high. And so two people, not only was it in the war, but two people recently have jumped off the top of it. Yeah, and
Gotcha.
so me and my buddy David, again, that I've already talked about, me, him, and his girl were in his Honda, and we drove up, and we were told we were going to take you to the battlefield. She was from Savannah, Georgia, which is like 6 hours away. And it was 3 a.m. And so we're driving down. I'm getting close to this thing about it. We're driving down this road, and all of a sudden we see these two huge, all white horses in the middle of this road, just walking down. And my buddy's so dumb. He's like, "Are those real?" And it's like, "Yeah, dude." And so they didn't have any saddles on them. There's no houses around in the battlefield, and like you just don't see two pure white horses anywhere. So then they just darted off into the field and then went to the woods. So then we keep going. We're like, we're gonna take you to this tower. We park in front of this tower, and I'm like, "David, turn your lights off." So he turns his lights off. I'm like, "Turn the car off." Turn the car off. I was like, we should walk up to the tower. And Lindsay was like, "No, I don't want to get out of the car." So we didn't get out of the car. We just sat there. 30 more seconds goes by. The alarm starts going off on the car randomly while we're sitting in it. Keys still in ignition, just not turned on. Starts going off. So we start freaking out. I'm like, "David, turn your car on. The alarm will go off." Which usually, you have to hit a panic button or the doors have to be locked and you unlock it for it to go off. So he turns the car on. The alarm's still going off. I'm freaking out even more. I'm like, "Yo, that should have went off, dude."
Oh
So
God.
he throws it in reverse. Almost is freaking out so bad he almost goes down a do not enter. So he cuts right real quick. We drive about 2 miles. This alarm's still going off. Right when we hit the interstate to get out of the battlefield, the front two tires on the road, the alarm shut off.
What the heck?
It was crazy.
And back to the horses. He thought they were real. Did they look real, or did they look ghostly or translucent? What do they look
No,
like?
they were real horses, but it's like, imagine just being like no houses around. It's literally a battlefield. There's cannons still on the field of like a museum prop basically, but
Right.
it's huge. It's probably like 500 acres of where they have fought, and you can walk on everything, and just a normal road, no cars on it at all, just us and two all white horses just walking down the road. It was super creepy because at first, like you just see these two big figures walking at you first of all, and then just for two horses, like no saddles, no nothing, walking at you. It was creepy.
What the heck? I need to get you on the podcast and go through all these stories at some point, if you have time. One of these
Oh,
days.
I've got probably 15 ghost stories, man.
Okay, we got to set that. All right, Kane Brown's hanging out, you guys. Kane, another true or false question. You were chosen for the X Factor 2013, but you left when they asked you to be in a boy band. What's the story behind that? Is that true? Walk me through that.
So this is a full circle moment, man. So I went to X Factor. I made it through. Simon Cowell wasn't there. I sang to Kelly Rowland, held her hand, made her blush a little bit. I don't know if she was acting or what, but she did. But anyway, I made it through, and then they were trying to get me battle this dude named Colton, and basically kept making us interview against each other, and sing to each other and do all this stuff. And anyways, none of us made it through, and then they called us all back and was like, "We need you in a boy band. We're gonna put all y'all together, and we're gonna call it Restless Road." And I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." So then, 4 years pass, and I come, where I'm at now, and I actually signed that band to my record label,
Shut
Restless Road.
up.
Yeah.
No
So
kidding.
so they're signed to me now.
I was about to ask whatever happened to them and were they good or are they good? I guess, well, let me ask
They're
you,
great,
are
man.
they?
Yeah, their harmonies are insane. Um, and Colton actually did a solo thing for a while. So when I was going to sign Colton, and then he brought the other two guys back, so they actually formed again. They broke up for a little bit, and now we got them an EP out. I'm actually a feature on one of the songs, and yeah, we got them. They're
That's
doing pretty good
crazy,
right now.
man. Talk about a wild full circle moment. Yeah. Kane, have you ever been mistaken for the wrong celeb or mistaken for yourself? Has that ever happened to you? If you know what I mean? Like, hey, you look a lot like Kane Brown, that type thing.
Yeah, people tell me that all the time. That they're like, you look a lot like Kane Brown, and sometimes I'll be like, no, that's not me. And they're like, really? You got the same tattoos and everything? I'm like, I don't know, that's a coincidence.
I'm
But
just a super creepy fan with the same exact tattoos.
yeah, that happens sometimes. And also, my David, once again, he's my best friend, is always with me. He has got mistaken for me, and that one I don't understand because we look nothing alike. We kind of dress the same, but that's about it. But he's been mistaken a couple times, and people have asked him to take pictures.
Does he take the pics?
Yeah, one time we were in Florida. I had dreads on. I was in a disguise. I had dreads on and sunglasses, and I had a walkie-talkie like I was one of the roadies. And he was beside me, and this girl ran up and was like, "I love your music. Can I take a picture with you?" And I just put my beer up to my mouth and was just holding it like this, trying not to laugh.
And she's got that
Yeah.
pic on her wall somewhere, I'm sure. Like, I met Kane Brown. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
you're in the background of the shots drinking a beer. Oh, God. Kane Brown's hanging out. What has 2020 taught you?
It's taught me to never take touring for granted. Like
Right.
whenever you're an artist, or honestly, just don't take life for granted. I can't even say touring. Just don't take life for granted because you never know when you're gonna be locked in your house for months and not be able to do anything.
You've been playing video games? I saw you
Dude,
post a
I've
gamer video.
I've played so many video games. It's my wife hates me.
Safe to say you are bored and of your mind. Kane Brown is hanging out, you guys. Quick recap, Be Like That with Khalid and Swae Lee. It is out. You guys get on this track. Congrats to you and your wife on your baby girl. She looks beautiful. And my daughter is 12 now, so they always say this, and it's true. They grow up fast, man. So enjoy this for sure. Got to get you back on the podcast for some more paranormal stories because I need to hear all these things. You have 15-ish stories,
Yeah.
encounters.
My pop's old house was on an Indian burial ground.
Oh my
And
God.
there was actually a room that you could look through, and you couldn't get to it. Like you could look through the wall and see the room, but you weren't able to access it.
What was in
There's
it?
a lot of things. It's just a room. I don't know. I've never got to go back there, but there was a couple. I got a couple, man.
All right, we'll get him on the podcast soon. Kane, I appreciate your time, man. Enjoy your quarantine. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Yeah, man. Good to talk to you, buddy.
At the end of every countdown, fist bump to make it official. Hit that cam, Kane. Bam.
Boom. I think hold on, I missed. There you go.
Boom.